We are live, and this will probably be the last time I'm going to do this because if it's not, I'm just going to quit for the night. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everyone. This is the third time we are doing this now.
Hopefully, third time's the freaking charm because I'm getting tired of people interrupting me.
Well,
anyway, we've got a few things to talk about twice before we were going for Elden Ring. Darc, do you mind re-saying what you were going to say?
Oh yes, definitely. Well, praising aside, the game is just amazingly gorgeous, even in the lowest setting. If you would look at my stream, which I have nothing, I'm in the starting area right now. I'm on the lowest setting of the actual game, and it still looks amazingly stunning.
I have to be thankful that thankfully that From doesn't copyright people who use it on streams, otherwise I would be in big trouble. So thankfully From are very generous when it comes to this.
But look at this. Amazing.
It looks beautiful. Where did you get that sword?
Oh, you'll find it whenever you go to like some sort of like magic place.
Okay. I'm just my eyes open. I'm a confessor.
Don't worry, you'll find the full set eventually. It's in the armor drop.
Oh, nice. Excellent. So we've got a few things to talk about Elden Ring, and then we've got some interestingly sad news for those who don't.
I sure do. Now, as I would say, let's get right into the news.
All right, we've got some interesting news about. First, we're going to still talk about. Not that one, the other one with the Horizon Zero Dawn and Elden Ring. Because recently, people have been Elden Ring, I wouldn't say Elden Ring fans, Horizon Zero Forbidden, Horizon, why do I say Zero Dawn?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, but it's Horizon Forbidden West.
Ah, yes, Horizon.
The Horizon series came out just a few days before Elden Ring. I think everybody knew this. I kind of forgot about it because I was mostly focused on Elden Ring. And
as do I.
As do I. And sadly, people have been saying that. People have been saying basically that a lot of Horizon fans have been complaining that Elden Ring just stole Horizon's thunder this month. Because everybody was expecting that Horizon would be the big hit, the big talk of the month, it's that cool game that came out. I've even heard some people say sexism because Aloy is a female character, and people were saying that, no one wants to play Aloy because she's a female.
Well, that is not true. I think it's just because we already know that Dark Souls has an unbiased, or basically a thing when it comes to like politics, and just because they just create challenging games, and that's what they're good for. They're kind of like what they're doing, like with Nintendo. Nintendo are making, I would say, family-friendly games and stuff like that.
I wouldn't say that, Darc. We can talk about this another time, but I do think they're Darc. Yes. Sorry. Perhaps you should just try share screening just a single share screen, but that's just me. But get what I mean?
Yes, sorry. Hold on. There we go.
Anyway, what I was going to say is that we can discuss the politics because I have my own views on how Miyazaki tells his stories, because honestly, there's a lot of classism in it that I could, if I wanted to, I could make a whole video discussing about classism in Dark Souls. There is a political view in it, but it's very undercurrent. But just my version is that from Jessica Sterling is basically the whole. I think I got her name right. Their name. Sorry. I think I got it from basically how before they discussed the whole idea of how Dark Souls talks. Dark Souls basically talks about how people in power who always obtain power will keep power to themselves, even in the light of a dying world. I kind of see where they are going with that, but I digress. Let's go about. But going back to this a second before we read the article, if I may, Darc. This is back. I don't get it why, but why are people? I was honestly waiting for Elden Ring to be compared to Breath of the Wild 2, not for Horizon Forbidden West.
I think it's mainly just because of the due date and everything of how these two products, these two titans of games, have been released at like a similar date and like within the same month and such, and basically how one is getting more traction than the other one and stuff like that. I think it's mainly just because of that, and also how people are just like talking over it nonstop. I think once we get like more gameplay footage and also I would say more info on Breath of the Wild 2, we would draw more comparisons to Elden Ring.
Fair enough, but Horizon, I still don't get it. Okay, on Metacritic on the PS5, it got a 97, by the way, for the PS5 Elden Ring. And you know how the score for Horizon Forbidden West score? 88.
Elden Ring is beating it.
Yep, that's why the fans are complaining, because that's why a lot of people are complaining it basically on how score-wise people are basically praising Elden Ring, but I feel like a lot of Horizon fans are basically saying that they're being unbiased and saying, oh, but Horizon had some technical issues, which was one of the main complaints, but Elden Ring also has technical issues, despite the fact that for some people, they were patched in a day. I don't know. Let's just read the article, shall we?
Yes. So basically, the article is stated, Soapbox, it's okay to enjoy Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West. History has a way of repeating itself, and just like Horizon Zero Dawn in 2017, the discourse surrounding Horizon Forbidden West has been destroyed by the arrival of an alternative open-world game. Twitter is awash with the repetition of an increasingly tedious gag. Apparently, gamers can't wait for the third installment in Guerrilla Games' post-apocalyptic property. Because based on past trends, it'll be flanked by an even more impressive sandbox.
And I don't see why people are, if the game sold well, and even if Elden Ring did outdo it and it still sold well, shouldn't they not be worried? I was more worried about Elden Ring because this was a new risky IP for From. Let's face it, this is basically, we've never had a Souls games that has both jumping and, let's face it, the game has platforming elements in it.
Yes, and I can tell you, the fall damage is still there, so don't jump off of really big heights.
I can agree with that. Never jump. Anyway, let's continue.
Number one enemy in Souls games, gravity. Alright. A lot of this chatter is, of course, intended to be taken tongue-in-cheek, but there's venom to some of the hot takes that's increasingly rubbing me the wrong way. Aloy's inaugural outing got unfairly pitted against The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, an entirely different type of adventure game, with the only real that's a weird word. Commonality being an emphasis
on bows and arrows, and the same thing is happening.
Tongue twisters. An emphasis on bows and arrows, and frequently the same thing is happening again with Elden Ring. Sorry.
This is the thing. Okay, Horizon was a new IP. Zelda was an established IP. Which do you think is going to gain more praise? The new IP or the established IP with a good amount of pedigree? It's kind of fairly obvious if you think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I think it was a bad idea for Guerrilla to put the first Horizon Zero Dawn, literally at the same month as Breath of the Wild. Like it was like they were saying, "Hey, we're gonna beat this game."
Yes.
Like this, I feel like this is just a repeat of what happened last time. That basically they knew Elden Ring. Let's face it, Elden Ring won the most anticipated game of the year twice in a row. That rarely happened. It was more anticipated than even Breath of the Wild 2. Twice, mind you.
People love their Souls games.
I know, but the fact is that it feels like Guerrilla thought that they could. They thought, I'm not part of the developer team, and I could be completely wrong. But it feels like that when Guerrilla basically released the game, they knew they were going to be going head to head with basically a big IP like, well, I wouldn't say big, but an anticipated IP like Elden Ring.
Yeah. A well-respected IP at the best.
Now that it has 2 games under its belt, you can say it's basically it's a franchise now.
Yes. So, and the article continues on, for anyone who followed the enthusiasts in the aftermath of Horizon Zero Dawn, a recurring sentiment is that the game was undone by the arrival of Nintendo's seminal Nintendo Switch Sandbox, a release with an entirely different emphasis on emergent gameplay encounters, traversal, and puzzle solving. I feel like a lot of Zelda's strengths were pitted directly against Horizon Zero Dawn's weaknesses, and a lot of things Guerrilla did well, like storytelling, got undermined.
I think this article points it out perfectly fine, like we discussed earlier. Zelda's mechanics all about puzzle solving, exploration, and am I missing anything else?
No. I think you pretty much listed the main go-to things when you're discussing about this, because usually puzzle solving is something that Zelda is known to do.
And in fact, this is with Horizon, and I didn't play the first Horizon because I wasn't interested in the game. It felt like a generic open world sandbox with survival crafting. And before any of you complain, but that's Elden Ring, the emphasis isn't on crafting in Elden Ring. So don't go in the comments saying, you don't like Horizon Zero Dawn because it's basically it's a survival crafting game. Oh, but you're playing Elden Ring, which is also a survival crafting game. No, it's not. I've played the game, and Darc 2 has, and he can emphasize it's not a survival crafting game.
It's not survival in the fittest. If it's survival, you're probably going to get your ass kicked, because this survival is going to be hardcore.
Speaking of people complaining, people are saying, and Horizon fans have been saying, Elden Ring is too hard. Oh, go suck on a lollipop.
Get good.
Suck on a lollipop. If you're going to complain that a game that wasn't meant for you because it was meant for us, the Souls fans, right? It was... Okay, maybe Elden Ring was also going to try to get some new audiences. Fair enough, but let's face it, it was also throwing a bone to the veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And even for veterans, it's basically like same car but different. The buttons have been placed differently. You got to learn a new set of skills.
Yes, they have definitely been pushed in a very different, orderly fashion.
Very different from what we're used to. It's a shame. It's lovely. Don't get me wrong. It's really cool, and I've been enjoying it. Anyway, continue.
Yes. The article then continues on saying, it's been difficult to ignore this kind of discourse over the past 5 years, or past 5 or so years, mind you, but it's noise that I've learned to block out because ultimately I love both games. Well, this article and this person in the article is very, very well crafted. I respect that.
Is it really so bad that you like both games for different reasons?
It's not really that bad that you liked both games. Besides, you can love both games. You can love any type of game together for different reasons or for the same reasons, because it's your opinion.
I like playing Dark Souls, and I love playing the Souls series for the challenge and the mystique stories, as well as some of the challenges above. I like, say, Skyrim because I love the sense of adventure. Okay, that's maybe its only reason. I like Doom for its tight focus on mechanics and gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I like Titanfall for the same for the record, for the same reason. You can like games for different reasons, and the fact that people are saying that Elden Ring is just difficult. You guys haven't played by that sounds you've never played a Souls game in your life.
The thing is, it's only hard if you make it hard, because the thing is, if you don't persevere, you're not going to get anywhere. I learned that the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, however, I see the same thing happening again, with some of the mood souring on Horizon Forbidden West already, simply because it's not Elden Ring. For me, I'm playing both games simultaneously, and I find it so disingenuous. Yes, disingenuous. Thanks.
Disingenuous.
Largely because they're completely contrasting experiences, each with their own set of strengths and weaknesses.
Horizon Zero Dawn is mostly about the storytelling, the world, and the survival aspect. Elden Ring is mostly about the exploration, gameplay, and bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Where Elden Ring falls, that it is not very narrative focused. It doesn't have. It has a story, but not in the sense like it's. Take it from two Souls fans. Take it from two Souls fans that this is just basically our cup of tea. The story is in the background. It's not shoved in our face. Horizon is a story-based game, completely different. If I wanted a story-based game, I'd play Horizon. If I wanted a game of purely gameplay focus, I'd play Elden Ring, with a dash of open world this time.
Yes. The world building has been exquisite in the opening hours of Elden Ring, for an example, subtle and understated, told through sheer artistry, as you'd expect from software. Horizon Forbidden West takes a different tactic. It embeds you in its world with a wide range of characters, all of whom have contrasting personalities and opinions on the events occurring around them. That's not to discredit Guerrilla's art direction, of course. The Forbidden West is stunning, but it's a different approach to storytelling.
Which every Souls fans can agree. Hang on. Like, if there's no swimming in, last time I checked, there's no swimming in Elden Ring, is there?
Oh, no. Which was a real shame.
After Sekiro, you actually had swimming.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In fact, these two titles couldn't be more different if they tried. I'd argue the comparisons are even worse than the aforementioned Breath of the Wild ones, which were already strained to begin with. Both games have statistics and levels, but Horizon Forbidden West combat is more about elements and strategy, while Elden Ring links into observation and overcoming impossible odds. Both are brilliant in their own way, but ultimately different experiences.
I kind of add a little bit with basically the idea of pattern recognition. I can't speak today. Pattern recognition, because that's what you're gonna do to fight those lemon bosses. You gotta remember the patterns and those little tails.
Yes.
And from what I've seen in Horizon, you use the tools to take down bigger bosses. That's the thing in Horizon. If I'm correct, you use basically hit enemies' weak spots, use their weaknesses against them, etc., etc. That's fine. That's what I expect for something like Horizon. But Elden Ring, you don't do that. Sure, you can use items to help, but all you need is a sword and a shield, and you're off.
Well said. The same is true of the actual sandboxes, at least from what I've seen so far. Elden Ring feels like an enormous playground designed to house little linear offshoots that stick more closely to the traditional Dark Souls blueprint. Very true. Horizon Forbidden West, on the other hand, is a more traditional open world, a dense and varied collection of biomes, each packed with activities to cross off. While some may be tiring of this format, Guerrilla keeps the quality of all its side content consistently high.
Fair enough.
I know I'm feeding into the narrative a little bit by publishing this article to begin with, but it feels unfair for these two juxtaposed adventures to be pitted against each other so unnecessarily. In my opinion, both are excellent games, and while it's totally fine if you appreciate one more than the other, there's really no reason for either to be undermined. Well said.
Yeah.
Increasingly bizarre to me is that there's not even an underlying console war rhetoric here. Both games can be played on the PS5 and PS4.
However, there's a bit however in there, Elden Ring sold more on the PS5 than Horizon Forbidden West. Yep, and that's just digital copies.
I suppose I've lived long enough to understand that this is all human nature. Video game enthusiasts have always struggled to appreciate one thing without inadvertently, and if we're being honest, without ourselves advertently bringing down another. Very true. But you know what? I love Horizon Forbidden West. I love Elden Ring. After a slower than expected holiday, it's been a great month for PlayStation 5, and there's still Gran Turismo 7 to come. Not everything has to come at the expense of something else.
If you like racing games, have at it. Hang on. Why did you close the stream?
Ah, shit. Fuck, my mic. My bad. My bad. Wait.
Anyway, let's just talk about this for a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like this is basically just the issue I find. Maybe I'll get someone who enjoys the Horizon series, and basically we can just have them on here explaining the series best, because I only have a tangented knowledge. I could buy Horizon Zero Dawn on...
I'm thinking of buying it.
I'm thinking of buying it, but really? It's like that sort of game that I know I'm going to just shrug to play through, so it's the sort of, do I really want to play a game I know I'm not going to like? I know it's just the whole judging a book by its cover, but I feel like I could play...
Say only do it if you think it's necessary.
I'll do it if I think it's necessary, but honestly, I think I'm just going to skip the Horizon series. Or any of you say I don't like it because it's a female character. I like 2B from Nier Automata, and I played plenty of games with female characters, so it's not that issue. It's just a... How do I put this?
It's just not your cup of tea.
Oh, hang on. Well, I'll come back to that. We'll go into that. We're still going to be talking about the other thing first, about the Horizon, but leave it there. Like I said, the problem I feel like is just basically you're comparing apples to oranges. Horizon is a sci-fi post-apocalyptic open-world game. Elden Ring is basically an apocalyptic fantasy game. A fair comparison, if I compare distinction, if you ask me.
Very well said.
So saying that, and so what? And sure, there have been plenty of people that have been participating Elden Ring, Horizon for quite a few years, but it shouldn't matter, should it? Just because Elden Ring was the more anticipated game for literally 2 years. Heck, ever since it got announced 2 years ago, I've been wanting to play it.
Yeah, so have I. What a coincidence.
Why? Because it was actually something new. From was actually taking a big risk along with George R.R. Martin. Let's face it, this was actually something to be interesting. An open-world Souls game with Viking influence. Let's face it, it's
heavy Viking influence.
Heavy Viking influence. Speaking of which, I think Melina is the new Souls waifu.
It will still never be as good as Lady Maria.
Or the doll, but I could say Lady Maria is a woman after my own heart. Oh, Lady Maria. Lady Maria. Eddie, your thoughts on this, Darc? I've been rambling on for quite a while now.
It's just I think you have been saying a lot of what I think at times, but it's also just like fair to say that well, you just really can't compare Horizon Zero Dawn to something like Elden Ring because they're not really something that similar. It's like as if you're comparing Elden Ring to God of War, the new one.
Viking,
but
that
wouldn't make much sense.
It would make a bit more sense. Both are Viking influence, but I can see where you're going for. I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, but and God of War decided to take a little influence from Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's taking influence from Dark Souls these days. I feel like there's nothing but soon the whole game will be Dark Souls. Nothing but Dark. Why? Because
become the Dark Soul itself.
I've been saying this for ages now. The best game we've got comparison to between Elden Ring is literally Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring. That is the closest you can get. Large open worlds with barely populated. It's not barely populated areas. A lot less populated than Elden Ring. I don't know. I wasn't expecting this to be this short, but then again, technical issues tend to shorten the time, because if it wasn't for the time, we would have probably been about 40 minutes into this limited podcast now.
Yes.
Yeah, we would have been 40 minutes into this podcast if it wasn't for my technical issues. New format, everybody. New format. Speaking of which, we've got one more thing, and then we're going to round it up with just our final thoughts between Elden Ring, Horizon, and this one. Because, oh boy, I didn't expect this one. This big of news.
Yes. Now, this one is a sad one.
Or good, depending on how you see it.
Yeah, depending on, basically, on your perspective on it. But it says that Funimation folds into Crunchyroll to create one giant anime platform.
So basically, now that I actually saw this when I was on Crunchyroll last night, I was wondering where these huge series came from, because a lot of the series that I couldn't watch on Crunchyroll now are now on Crunchyroll, such as I don't know, Fire Force. I couldn't watch that in my region. There was also the Journey Wish Elite Helena. That I completely forgot that had been announced last year or 2 years ago. I couldn't remember. Moriarty the Patriot was another thing that I completely wanted to watch, but I realized it wasn't on Crunchyroll. So yes, when I was showing it, I saw a lot more series that I didn't think I'd see.
Sweet. Well, Crunchyroll announced that starting on Tuesday, the entire library of Funimation anime, including shows, movies, and previously exclusive upcoming simulcast premieres, will live under the Crunchyroll brand. What does that mean? Well, this move follows the acquisition of Crunchyroll by Sony Pictures Entertainment Incorporated, who last year purchased the anime streaming service from AT&T and Warner Media for $1.175 billion.
Mm-hmm. And recently, just to a little bit of a side note, what happened to play that was like a copyright strike. Sorry. The fact, and let's also not forget that they also bought Bungie recently.
Yes.
You know the series that made the Halo series, right? And Destiny?
Oh, yeah.
They bought them.
Yeah,
now they own them. It's really... Next they're going to buy From Software.
Oh, boy.
Don't get any funny ideas, Sony, if you're watching this in the future. Do not buy From.
Yeah, do not buy it.
I am so glad that when Microsoft, sadly or goodly, I don't know how I say sadly, actually on the good side, but I was worried that Sekiro might have become Microsoft exclusive, but thankfully that From still owns the rights to that game.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Otherwise my sentence would have been, my tone would have been a little less pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And we're continuing with this article, shall we see?
Yes. Unifying all of our brands and services under the Crunchyroll brand globally enables us to offer more value than ever before as we combine subs, dubs, simulcasts, library, music, movies, manga, etc. all into one subscription. Crunchyroll CEO Colin Decker said, "The new Crunchyroll is the realization of a dream, and we are grateful to the creators of the anime and the millions of fans who have joined us in the making of the community what it is today."
I have some issues here, because for those who don't know, Funimation wasn't available outside of America. So I was actually trying to get a Funimation account because they have some of the shows I like, but they did not have any of it. And before you ask, no, there's still some anime that are not on my region, like Danmachi or... What was that other one? Oh, Danmachi is still not on my region, but they can't do anything about that one. The fact is that I can finally watch a lot of dubs that I couldn't watch. I'm not going to go hold the whole sub versus dub debate, because it's not my concern, neither is it important which one's which. If you like sub, fine. If you like dub, fine. I don't care. I listen to both. Consider whatever you can call me whatever you want. Your thoughts, Darc?
Well, basically, I'm staying out of it because I'm just gonna let the comment section do its own thing and just enjoy the chaos.
Of course, because they're always going to enjoy the chaos because, oh boy, I'm going to get a lot of headaches on this one, aren't I? Oh,
Most likely.
You're a filthy dub watcher. Oh, you're a filthy sub watcher. Subs are better because they basically... the subs are not always better because they can always get the translation wrong. It's not always a one-to-one translation. Japanese is a nuanced language, depending on the structure of the meaning behind the word, because Kami can mean three literally different things.
Mm-hmm.
So it has the context. English is not like that because the words have their meaning. So gobbledygook means gobbledygook. I'm just throwing an example out there. So yes, they basically have to translate things. It's still not an accurate translation, either being from sub or dub. And they do have to change some things for a Western audience because a lot of things don't sit well. Jelly donuts, anyone? Yes, I'm bringing that old meme back.
I can't believe you did that.
I know. Hey,
well, the article then continues on saying, according to Crunchyroll, the upcoming slate of spring anime premieres will exclusively stream on Crunchyroll going forward, while 80% of Funimation and French anime streaming service Wakanim's most popular existing series will be available to watch on Crunchyroll by the end of March 2022. Pricing for Crunchyroll, which is $7.99 per month, and for Fan $99 per month, and Mega Fan only $14.99 per month for the Ultimate Fan.
Ugh, I hate it when you have these different tiers. Anyway, continue.
And will remain unchanged, and the new Crunchyroll and VRV subscribers will receive 60 days of Crunchyroll Premium for free.
Sorry.
Yes.
Continue. Verve is unavailable in my region, so that basically... pardon me, is basically pointless for me. I don't know if it'd be for you, but for me it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, I never understood the point of Verve as it is. In a fact page tied to the announcement, existing Funimation subscribers are recommended to cancel their subscriptions whenever they are ready, as Funimation will only continue to add new episodes of series currently airing.
So basically, Funimation is just going to be a husk of its former self.
There are a lot of Oh, hey, would you look at that?
Fan demake shows that Elden Ring would have looked like in 1995. There have been a lot of demakes of Souls series lately. Bloodborne PSX comes to my mind.
Yeah, Bloodborne PSX.
We can talk about that another time. This one.
Yes.
Well, I never had a Crunchyroll account, so never really affected me. I mean a Funimation, so it really never affected me. You?
Well, I usually don't watch a lot of anime, but I do tend to go on Crunchyroll whenever there is an anime that I would say I want to watch. But other than that, not really. It's not really affecting me.
Oh, fuck it. A little gameplay stream while we talk just extends the time either way. Don't show anything spoilerific.
Don't worry. I'll just be strolling around and such.
Thank you. The point I'm trying to make is Torrent, such a lovely companion. Anyway, speaking of things a little bit, we're just dragging this podcast out for an hour so we can at least get our normal time out. For another 30 minutes. Speaking of which, the great sword in Dark Souls that's in every Souls game that's basically just a reference to Berserk?
Yes. And how basically how it's scattered across there's monuments of that everywhere.
Well, funny enough, fans are speculating that was actually a memorial to Kazuki, the creator of the manga. Because if you look at the sword, they redesigned the great sword to look more like Guts' sword.
Mm-hmm. Every single sword looks like that, yeah.
I consider it a great honor for the guy, because if we didn't have Berserk, we wouldn't have Dark Souls. Oh God, man! Oh God, what would happen if Dark Souls? What happened if Elden Ring took something else? Like, just thinking about it makes me scared. You're gonna make me want to play more Elden Ring after this. You do know that, Dark.
Oh yeah, don't you worry.
Oh, you're such a lovely person. I gotta go.
And I have explored a lot.
You've explored almost all the map.
Well, no, I mean, there's this big portion over here.
Wait, there's more?
Yeah, there's more. I'm not even close to beating the game. I think I'm almost to the halfway point.
So basically, you've had a sample of the game, then, as we call it.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is only the surface level.
Wait,
look. Yeah, look. I was just here in the Ainsel River.
Wonderful. So basically, this thing just basically goes deep. So
it just did a full black reach on us.
I heard that Elden Ring's bigger than Skyrim.
Oh yeah, well, it definitely is.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. Again, I'm seeing this and I wonder, how is it basically like Horizon Forbidden West?
Probably just doing it to the fact how it's like open world. I think that's the only characteristic I can see. Because there's no machinery or anything. Because if there were machinery that would be resembled to the creatures in Horizon Zero Dawn, that would make at least a little bit more sense. But there isn't.
You could say
because
magical.
Look at this thing. That's not mechanical. That's all flesh.
Grotesque flesh.
Mm-hmm. Here's a cool little fact. If you kill all enemies, even in a group, and there's no enemies around you, your Estus flask will restore itself.
I need to get more of those seeds to increase my Estus flask. I've only got 5.
Golden seeds?
Yeah, I gotta get more of those.
I can show you around a few of them.
No, that's alright. I'll just look it up.
No, that's fine. I definitely know where some of them are.
And maybe if we're online one time, we could basically, if I'm
sweet.
What is that thing anyway? It looks like something from Bloodborne.
This is an octopus.
An octopus? I feel like my frenzy meter's going up. How is that thing an octopus?
I don't know. But how I know it's an octopus is because it drops a land octopus ovary.
Ovary. Okay. And then again, when it's Bloodborne, sticking your hands up pigs' asses doesn't seem so wrong now, does it? You wonder what Miyazaki was thinking when he made that idea.
Hey, I would say some crazy geniuses are sometimes insane at times.
And as I sometimes wonder when we're playing Bloodborne, what was Miyazaki having some repressed memories while playing that with anything when making Bloodborne? Because I think he did.
Maybe so. We will never know.
So he's a shy guy. He doesn't even have a Twitter account.
Yeah, but I respect that man so much.
Any From fan would respect Miyazaki. Let's face it, the guy made the series we all know and love. I wouldn't be talking to you if there was no Dark Souls.
Exactly. Oh yeah, by the way, you know what's a cool little fact about this? You can alter the cosmetic of the armor itself.
Really? How?
Yes. Here, I'll show you. Let me get to a grace area really quick. So you see my chest plate. You see how it has a cape and everything?
Yeah.
Alright, so if I go over here, and if I go to the alter garments section, and I select the chest plate, it allows me, for 500 runes, it allows me to take off the cape. Isn't that a neat little fact?
Very nice. That's actually pretty cool. I guess it's an apology from the first From Dark Souls game that had no cloth physics.
Yes.
Can we all agree that we wish that Elden Ring had cloth physics?
Oh, yeah.
Dark Souls 1 had cloth physics, especially for the remastered.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't understand how the summoning mechanics worked, but once I figured it out...
Wait, wouldn't technically we would say Bloodborne would have cloth physics as well?
Yes, it has. It has cloth physics.
Good.
Very wonky ones, considering, remember, when you go in elevators, your clothes literally fly up. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, Dark Souls. Oh, Dark Souls. Oh, Elden Ring. I can't wait for the fan songs. Aviators and Miracle of Sound have always been my favorite content creators when it comes to Souls fan songs.
Yeah, and also don't mind the screaming and everything. I have no idea as to why that's happening.
I can't hear anything because you need to specifically select the game sound.
Oh, alright. Well, then I need to fix that issue.
It's alright. I'm too scared of getting copyright strikes sometimes with them.
Yeah, regardless, it's probably for the best. But this game is beautiful, is it not?
It is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Even in low-quality settings.
I remember... actually, remember where the dragon was? I actually fell for that trap.
Oh. The dragon that basically gets set off right over here?
Not that. No, go back where those people were. That little... Did you go down that area at all?
Oh, yes, and how the chest over here activates a trap?
That sends you to a late game area, and I was almost tempted to just basically create a new game. Yes, that one.
We're going there right now.
I hated that trap, by the way.
Yeah, so did I.
You know what I had to do? Run!
Yes, very much so.
I thought, hang on, I can teleport, but then, whoops, you need to land. You need to sit on the grace in order to basically get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm terrified of these things. What are they? It feels like those things would fit right into Bloodborne.
There's something. I believe they're miners. Imbued with crystals. As for these, I have no idea what the hell these things are.
I feel like the centipede monsters.
I think they're related to shrimp, maybe.
Anyway, I think we're gonna cut this stream out. And sorry about the end stream, everybody. I gotta do a few things, but it was nice talking to everyone. Thanks again.
Yes, it was nice talking to everyone as well. Hope you all are doing great, and make sure to keep on playing Elden Ring. It's great.
See you guys, everyone.